Okay. So childhood person, the isolated nuclear family, as we know, due to it happens due to social evolution that leads to social differentiation, wherein there is specialized task given to different institution, and the family loses much of its traditional functions, like the functions of the socialization, education of the children, the socialization of the children, education of the children, the socialization of the children, and all. The family and the economic. Firstly, analyzes the emphasis. Analyzes the emphasis. The importance of the integration, the harmony within the various parts of the society. An efficient social system requires a path to fit smoothly rather than upgrade. The parts of the society are firstly related to what they contribute. Hello, ceasefire. So I didn't get what you're trying to say. Ceasefire has not. So I don't know. I don't have any information on this ceasefire हो गया. I don't know. I have to confirm the news. I know that at 6 p.m. the Trump complete. No, I don't believe in any leaders to it. So at 6 p.m. I think the Minister of External Affairs will be doing press conference, and from there only you can get the right information. Don't believe in other weird sources. Just see the press conference of the Ministry of External Affairs. That is the most reliable source to be trusted upon right now. The first is analysis emphasizes the importance of the integration harmony within the various parts of the society. An efficient social system requires the parts to fit smoothly rather than aberrate. So firstly, the analysis emphasizes the importance of the integration and harmony between the various parts of the society. And efficient social system requires the parts of the society, the parts to fit smoothly rather than aberrate. The parts of the society are firstly related when they contribute to the integration and harmony of the social system. They are constantly related. So when they come to Parson argued that there is a functional relationship between the isolated nuclear family and the economic system in the industrial society. Economic system in the industrial society, in particular, the isolated nuclear family is shaped to meet the requirements of the economic system. Isolated nuclear family is shaped to meet the requirements of the economic system. A modern industrial system with a specialized division of labor demands considerable. That's this I know, right? Yes. See, a modern industrial system with a specialized division of labor or demands considerable geographical mobility. From its labor force, individuals with specialized skills are required to move to places with those skills are in demand. So, hence labor force, individuals with specialized skills are required to move to places where those skills are in demand. The isolated nuclear family is suited to this need for geographical mobility and how it helps the capitalist mode of production. The isolated nuclear family is suited to this need for geographical mobility. It is not tied down by binding obligations to a wide range of kin, and compared to the pre-industrial families, it is small and streamlined unit. Status in the family. Status in the industrial family is achieved rather than ascribed. So status in this society is achieved rather than ascribed. An individual's occupational status is not automatically fixed. An individual occupational status is not automatically fixed, rather it's ascribed. By the ascribed status in the family or the kinship group, persons argue that the isolated nuclear family is the best form of the family structure. The family structure for a society based on achieved status. So, in industrial society, individuals are judged in terms of okay. So, in industrial society, individuals are judged in terms of the status they achieve. Such judgments are based on what person terms universalistic value system. Value system rather than particularistic value system. That is a value that is applied generally to universal applied to all members of the society. However, within the family, status is ascribed and as such based on particularistic value system. That is values that are applied particular value system, that is values that are applied only to particular individuals. This son's relationship with his father is conducted primarily in terms of the ascribed status of father and the son. The father's achieved status as a bricklayer, school teacher, or lawyer has relatively little influence on the relationship since his son does not judge him primarily in terms of universalistic value systems. Okay, so the father's achieved status as a bricklayer, school teacher, lawyer has relatively little influence on the relationship since his son does not judge him primarily in terms of universalistic value system. Persons argue that in a society based on achieved status, conflict would tend to rise in a family if a family is an extended family unit larger than the isolated family. In a three-generation extended family in which the children remain a part of the family unit, the following situation could produce conflict. If the son became a doctor and the father was a laborer, the particularistic value of family life would give the father higher status than his son, yet the universalistic value system of the society as a whole would award his son higher social status. Conflict could result from the situation which might undermine the authority of the father and threaten the solidarity of the family. So, okay, society that is based on achieved status and universalistic value patterns. Achieved status conflict would tend to rise in a family and then the isolated nuclear family in a three-generation or extended family, where the children, the father, and the present. So, extended family, the children remain a part of the family unit. The following situation could produce conflict. If the son became a doctor and the father was a laborer, the particularistic value of family life would give the father a higher status than his son. Yet the universalistic values of the society as a whole would award his son higher social status. Conflict could result from this situation, which might undermine the authority of the father and threaten the solidarity of the family. The same conflict of values could occur if the nuclear family were extended horizontally. If the universalistic values of the society as a whole would award his son a higher social status, conflict would result from the situation and might undermine the authority of the father and threaten the solidarity of the family. The same conflict of values could occur if the nuclear family were extended horizontally, not vertically but horizontally. Relationship between a woman and a sister and the husband and his brother might turn problematic. So there are different types of extended family. You can call it the vertical family, horizontal family. Vertical family in which three generations live. Horizontal family comprising of the husband, wife, the husband, brother, the wife, sister, and all, and other people of the similar generation living together in a family. So relationship between a woman and a sister might be problematic if they held jobs of different prestige. The isolated nuclear family largely prevent these conflicts and problems from arising. There is one main breadwinner, the husband's father. His wife is mainly responsible for raising the children. And the latter have yet to achieve their status in the world of the work. No member of the family is in a position to threaten the ascribed authority structure by achieving a status outside the family that is higher than the achieved status of the family head. Abortion threatened. Ascribe authority structure of by achieving a status outside the family that is higher than the status of the family head. These issues do not rise in pre-modern, pre-industrial societies because occupation status is largely ascribed. Since an individual position in the family and the kinship group usually determine his or her job. Parsons concluded that given the universalistic achievement-oriented values of the industrial society, the isolated nuclear family is the most suitable family structure. The isolated nuclear family is the most suitable family structure. Any extension of this basic unit might well create conflict that would threaten the solidarity of the family. As a consequence of the structural isolation of the nuclear family, the conjugal bond, the relationship between the husband and wife is strengthened. Due to the structural geographical isolation of the nuclear family and the non-presence or availability of the third generation or the the horizontal arrangements of the family, the relationship between the husband and wife is strengthened. The conjugal bond is strengthened. The relation, okay. So without the support of the kin beyond the nuclear family, spouses are increasingly dependent on each other, particularly for emotional support. As we outlined previously, Parsons argued that the stabilization of the adult personalities is a major function of the family in the modern industrial society. This is largely accomplished in terms of the husband-wife relationship. Criticism of Parsons. So, how did Parsons see the family as being functional, comprising of a heterosexual couple? So, on this basis, Parsons theory can be criticized as it neglects the conflict that is present within the families and also the diverse type of family that is emerging in contemporary society. LGBTQ families, the single women families. He also did not pay any heed to the increasing divorce rate in the family, the increasing trend of newer different types of families such as the live-in relationship, the single women families, the plastic love concept and all. So criticism of Parsons portrays the nuclear family as being well adapted to the requirements of the modern industrial societies. Furthermore, the nuclear family is generally portrayed in a positive light. David Gill sees this view as being closely related to a modernist view of progress, and he is highly critical of this view. Chill claims that the faith in progress expressed by the writers of Parsons ignore contradictions within the modernity. Changes in different parts of the society did not always go hand in hand. With the increased employment of women in paid jobs did not lead to men sharing domestic tasks equally. So this is the issue. So, and this actually led to conflict in the society, increasing divorce rate. Changes in different parts of the society did not go hand in hand. For example, increasing employment of women in paid jobs did not lead to men sharing domestic tasks equally. From Chill's point of view, there is nothing inevitable about modern institutions developing in such a way that they function well together. So, institution lacks inevitability, as there is bound to be a conflict within that institution, because we cannot say that institution is functional altogether. Chill argues personal generalization about the family life was often seriously parochial, reflecting narrow experiences of gender, class, race, and nationality. Inevitably, that resulted in person drawing some conclusions that have not stood up well with the empirical investigations on the institution of the family. Person has also been heavily criticized from a feminist perspective. Okay. So Lynn Jamison accuses Parson of expressing particular values rather than describing or advancing understanding of the ways in which lives were lived. In arguing that the roles of the husbands and wives and parents and children in the nuclear family were functional for society, was ignoring the way they were key mechanisms for sustaining gender inequalities and the subordination of the women within the family. Lynn Jamison. Jamison also argued that through this concentration on structures, so through this concentration on structures, James also argued that his concentration of the structural person paid no attention to the meanings of the family life, for those involved. His theorizing was not backed up by detailed research, so he saw families as an abstract entities without examining whether the reality of the family life conformed to his assumption. Subsequent research has been questioned whether his assumption matched reality even in terms of the basic structure of the family household. So this is the issue with the Trump. Oh my God, I'm seeing Trump. With Parson generalization of this theoretical explanation that it does not reflect the empirical reality. Now, Peter Laslet, the family in pre-industrial. So now Peter Laslet will tell us about the family in the pre-industrial society. How was the family in the pre-industrial? So right now we have read about the family in the pre-industrial society that was characterized by kinship-based relationship, joint family system. Then came the extended families. So there are different types of extended families: horizontally extended families and the vertically extended families that was found among it is society, it is peasant society. And then came in capitalist mode of production the isolated nuclear family. So Peter Laslet, again the family in the pre-industrial society. So what family comprised of in the pre-industrial society? Family in kinship based society and the classic external family. The family in kinship based society and also the classic extended family. Peter, the family in the kinship based society and the classic external family represent only two possible forms of the family structure in the pre-industrial society. Historical research in Britain and America suggests neither was typical of those countries in the pre-industrial society. Again, they also say that diverse form of family existed even in the pre-industrial society. So how we are claiming that this diverse form of family that is present in the modern society is vague, and it will destroy the institution of the so-called family that is explained, that is dominant in the society, the type of family that is dominant in the society.